There's a big difference between facts and opinions with rumours in the middle. However, you form your opinion off of what you know to be factually true and what you believe when it comes to rumours. Obviously, largely depending on where you go for your news and most importantly, who you believe when it comes to your news. However, you use what you already know to decide whether you believe certain things or not. You form opinions. So factually, West Ham are 8th in the Premier League. I am wearing a light blue jumper. Now your opinion might be that West Ham won't finish 8th in the Premier League. We might even go into the bottom half of the table. Your opinion may be that I don't look good in this jumper and I should stop wearing it. That's your opinions. However, the rumours are, I quite like it, so I'm going to continue wearing it. I'm going to be monitoring the next Hugo Boss sale and M&M Direct and Get Labels, see if I can pick up a similar jumper because I'm interested in picking up another jumper, the same but in a different colour. That's the rumours. Anyway, welcome, patronising start over and done with. The reason for that though, for that introduction, it's because last week there was something put out that was given as factual. This is factual. And I didn't believe it for 1 second. And a big part of the reason I didn't believe it is because of the rumours and what I believed and more importantly who I believed. So I didn't believe what was being given as fact because of the rumour. Hopefully that makes sense. Basically, in my opinion, someone lied last week and I'm not very happy about it because I think it's a very dangerous thing to do. And I couldn't prove it at the time. I could just form an opinion, which is I think this fact is incorrect, but I had to wait. And it was proven wrong on Monday night when we played Brentford. That fact was proven wrong. They still lied though. I'm not happy about it, and that's what we're going to be discussing in today's video. However, if you're new around here and you don't mind being patronised like that and you enjoy the video, please do subscribe. We're close to 37,000 subscribers. It'd be nice to hit that over the next few days. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please do drop a like on it by clicking thumbs up. Helps out the video, helps out the channel, makes me very happy. As would finding this jumper in a different colour in a sale very soon. That would be nice, wouldn't it? By the way, before we get into it, if you want an additional video from myself and Gonzo, it's over on Patreon. It's completely free. You don't have to join up. There's a link in the description and pinned comments of this video. It's really silly. It's not serious. If you go over there expecting a serious debate about something, don't bother clicking on it. It's basically, if myself and Gonzo were managers or chairman of West Ham, what would we do? It's a little bit of fun, but it's free for everybody to go and have a look at. Links in description. Anyway, the article was on Clarence Hugh last week and it said, in the absence of straightforward analysis of his position from Moyes, Clarence Hugh has spoken with a source very closely associated with the player. He told us, so that rules out Cam Brady, he told us that it would be a problem if the manager selected him as he won't be ready for another 2 weeks. He went on to say, our source said it would be wrong to play him against Brentford. Too much of a risk, and I would believe the Burnley or Villa matches are possibly preferable, but not necessarily from the start. There was another article that week that said the player doesn't believe he is ready and would be worried were to be put on the bench with the aim of playing even 10 minutes. Now, what I will say first of all is Clarence Hugh have really good sources at the club, really good, and that's what I think makes this dangerous. They have a contact with David Sullivan. It's not a secret. Previously, they also had a contact with David Gold as well before his passing. That site have always had good contacts at West Ham, and sometimes it can be beneficial to hear things from the chairman of the football club, even if it's unofficial. However, I'm not sure this one has come from David Sullivan because it said a source very, very close to the player. I'm not sure that is David Sullivan. I think it's someone else, probably an agent. That would be my opinion based off that article, is that it would be an agent who is close to Lucas Paqueta. My issue is it was given as fact, which is he will not be ready for the Brentford game. And what I felt this article was doing was basically throwing Moyes under the bus before anything had even happened. It was almost getting people ready, sharpening the pitchforks. Let's go all in on David Moyes because it's his fault that Paqueta's going to get injured against Brentford. We didn't even know if he'd get injured. We didn't even know if he'd play against Brentford at this point. But we were basically getting told he's not ready. He needs another 2 weeks. This is indirectly putting Moyes in an awkward position because he obviously selected Paqueta, but it started to put the pressure on Moyes to not pick Lucas Paqueta. Now, Moyes probably doesn't care what that website says or what any website says and goes about his business as it is. But I still think this was a dangerous thing to put out there, that Lucas Paqueta will not be available for another 2 weeks and he better not be playing against Brentford. because of the mood of the fan base. Now, there was an article from that website in the same week which said, we know what the fans think, we've told David Sullivan. Now, I would argue you don't know what the fans think, you know what your followers think, which is fine, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying their opinions aren't valid, they are, but to claim you know what the fan base think, I think is wrong. But going by your own claim, which is, we know how the fans feel, to then release this article would suggest you don't know how the fans feel. Because that was only going to have one reaction, which is get people worried about Lucas Paqueta playing. Now, the reason people were worried about it was because of what had happened previously, which can also be laid at David Moyes' door. We took him back too early again against Bristol City, and he had to go off after 10 minutes. His Mrs. Paqueta didn't like that. She put on social media that he wasn't 100% fit and it's caused an injury, and now he's been out for a large period of time. However, I suspected this would be incorrect for two reasons. First of all, this is where it goes back to rumours, who you believe and what you believe. I believe a lot of what ex-West Ham employees says. Now, I understand people don't believe what X says, that's fine, that's your opinion, but I do. I think he's a really good source of information when it comes to West Ham news. And when he first got injured, or the second time Lucas Paqueta got injured after that Bristol City game, X has said they're targeting him for the Brentford game. That's the game they're aiming to get him back for. So arguably he's been on track all this time, because that is the game he came back for. Second of all, and there was another thing X said, but just bear with me. Second of all, there's all the footage and photos Lucas Paqueta has been putting up on social media, even before his giveaway on Sunday night, which is can't wait to be back, looking forward to playing in front of you all. Even before that, he was the one posting videos and photos of himself in the gym, back in training. He was the one that was saying, look, I'm back, I'm close to full fitness. I'm willing to take Lucas Paqueta over anyone else. If Lucas Paqueta's hinting and suggesting, I'm back, I'm in training, I'm very close to being ready to go, I'm believing that. And then something else X said, which was that Lucas Paqueta played in a behind-the-doors close friendly during the week against Stevenage. Danny Ings played and scored. I think he thinks it was 1-0 West Ham. He's not 100% sure. It was behind closed doors. Nobody could watch it. But Paqueta played in that friendly and was fine. I would argue the club, so far, has got Paqueta's recovery bang on. Not the post-Bristol City. Obviously, that one, not so good. Post that, it looks like his recovery's gone well. It looks like we've taken our time with him. He's slowly come back in training, give him a friendly behind closed doors. Now, that friendly would have occurred during the week, or did occur during the week. It's not like it happened Sunday night before we played on Monday, is it? It happened during the week. At the same time, this article is getting put out there. So this source, very, very close to the player, was saying he's not ready for another 2 weeks. Meanwhile, the player, who apparently the source is very, very close to, is running around playing for West Ham in a friendly. There is a lie here. I think it's a strong thing. A lie is a strong claim, but I'm comfortable to sit here and say somebody has lied. Now, I believe Clarence and Hugh got told this by someone. I do believe Clarence and Hugh got told this. When anybody makes a claim, I just assume and hope, it's more out of hope than anything, I just assume they've been told that information. Sometimes Sean Wetstone will put something up, I don't believe it, but I believe he's been told it. So Sean will claim something's happened or will happen. I don't necessarily believe the claim, but I believe that Sean was given this information by someone and he's put it up there. A really good example is a couple of years ago with Sonny Perkins. Clarence and Hugh were claiming that Sonny Perkins had another year to go on his contract. Because Gonzo believed it, because Gonzo's really good friends with Hugh and does stuff for the website. Gonzo believed it. But I spoke to somebody who would know Sonny Perkins' contract situation, and he said to me there's no chance he's at West Ham. He said his contract's up at the end of the season, he's gone. So while that website was saying he's got another year to go, I was getting told completely different. And I did the video saying I think he's gone, because a few people said, hang on a minute, you two are saying different things, being Gonzo. I said, I know, but Gonzo believes one thing and I believe another thing. But I was confident the person I spoke to knew Sonny Perkins' contract situation. I'm 99% sure he was right, so I was comfortable enough to say that's wrong. But I believe Hugh got told by someone, probably David Sullivan in this instance, that he had another year to go on his contract. I just believe the information they're fed is incorrect, but they do get fed it. But to put this out there about Lucas Paqueta, I think it was a very dangerous thing, because Moyes didn't need any more negative PR. And listen, I'm not Moyes' biggest fan. I'll criticise him when I think he deserves to be criticised, but I'll credit him when I think he deserves to be credited. I think he deserved to be credited for Monday. He deserved to be criticised for the Nottingham Forest game, so on and so forth. I just call it as I see it on a day-by-day, game-by-game basis. But Moyes was under pressure enough, and there was enough unhappiness without this coming out. But I felt what this did do was set him up to fail. So if Paqueta did get injured again on Monday, it would have been beheading time for David Moyes. Off the back of this stuff getting leaked, which was, do not play Lucas Paqueta. That was the message, do not play him. It was almost like calling him out, going, I dare you. I dare you to play Lucas Paqueta. And if he gets injured, we'll see what happens. I felt that was the vibe that was coming out off the back of that article, and I didn't like it one bit. Now, a large part of that is, and I may be naive in thinking this, again, opinions. I don't believe Moyes is solely responsible for deciding whether a player plays or not post-injury. I just do not. Especially not at a Premier League club. And I say Moyes, any manager at a Premier League club, I struggle to believe that they are responsible for selecting a player post-injury. Well, they are responsible for selecting him. I don't think they're responsible for deciding if they're available for selection or not. These Premier League clubs have big medical teams now. Even clubs like West Ham, we still have a plenty staff there medically to look after this player, to make sure he's right, and then get him back into the first team and to advise when he can or cannot be selected. And I know historically we've been horrific with injuries, but I do actually think in the last couple of years we've been all right. This season we had no injuries up until everyone got injured at once. When Paqueta got injured, Bowen got injured, but until then, the first half of the season, we barely had one, bar Michael Antonio. We've done well. Our medical department's done well. Antonio has been, this season not so much, but the last couple of seasons, he's been pretty good with his availability, which is a miraculous turnaround when he first rocked up at West Ham. My point is, there's medical people in place that surely would just not risk a player playing if they weren't able to. And the manager doesn't get to decide whether he plays or not. It's the medical staff that says, no, he can't play. A good example was Szoboszlai on Sunday. He himself said, I want you to play. The medical team wouldn't let me. Not Klopp wouldn't let me. The medical team said, no, you're not playing. Szoboszlai was, I'm going to play through the pain barrier, thank you. But he wasn't allowed. Maybe I'm naive, but I just assumed that when Paqueta was available to be selected against Bristol City, that had been approved by people that are experts medically. Moyes is not one of them. So if a player comes back and says, I'm okay, Moyes has to assume he's okay. But that's what the medical team are there for, to say, yes, you are okay, or no, you are not. So when a player is selected, I just think there's other people that have said yes in the process before it gets to the manager to decide whether that player's involved or not. Anyway, that's my mini rant over. There's another little bit of Paqueta stuff coming up in the next few minutes, but that's my rant over. I was just annoyed when I seen that article, and then when Paqueta did his thing on Sunday, I was really pleased that A, Paqueta was back, and B, that just looked good. That's the stuff put to bed. That's the rumours put to bed now. No more. Paqueta's available for tonight. And he was, and it looks like he came through the game perfectly fine. It looked good during the game as well. I'm happy. So is he not ready? Well, according to that article, he's still not ready for Everton. He'll be ready for Aston Villa, Burnley the following week though. We don't have him for Everton. According to that article, Paqueta's unavailable for Everton, and he was unavailable 2 days ago. But he'll be back next week. Don't worry about it. Things perceived as facts that are wrong, I don't like it. I think it's a dangerous thing. Like I said, I think Clout and Hugh got given this information by someone and they put it out there. I just think A, the person that gave it to them lied, and B, I think there needs to be a bit of due diligence going on there before putting that article out there, because we get told stuff all the time at Hammers Chat. Just like most YouTube channels and websites do, you get told stuff. I just ignore it all. 80% of it, I'm guessing, 80% of it's wrong. Right, just 20% does actually happen. You think, someone did tell me about this and it's actually happened. But it's not worth it. For that 80% of the time you're going to be wrong. But you can work stuff out a little bit. When you get told he's not available for 2 weeks, I'd be questioning it, going, well, he's posting his own videos in training. Are you sure about this? But regardless, I just think it was bad timing and it didn't need said. Caused an uproar about something that turned out didn't even happen. Anyway, his record without him. I was going to do this. I said in the player ratings we're going. I said I'm going to have a look at the statistics. I don't think we've won without him. And then someone said they read it out during the game anyway. And since then, it's come out in Premier League. And Paqueta, social media Paqueta's promoting it himself now. yesterday he put up the statistics, which included us with and without him. So he's basically bragging. And why not? He's not wrong. Anyway, here's the numbers in the Premier League. Without Lucas Paqueta, we played 7 games and we haven't won a game. 0.7 goals scored per game, concede 2.4, 0.4 points per match. So no Paqueta, I say no party, nothing. There's nothing going on. 2 goals every 3 games. With Paqueta, 19 games, 11 wins, 1.8 goals scored per match, 1.5 goals conceded per match. So we concede a lot less with him in the team. And then 1.9 points per match. So there you go. Lucas Paqueta, we are now a one-man team. We are. It's hard to... Okay, that's the facts. That's the facts. No wins in 7. My opinion, we're a one-man team. I think us conceding less goals is quite important, actually, because it does show that without Paqueta, we have less of the ball. The defence has less respite. They are under pressure more. We struggle to get up the pitch more. Obviously, the further away from your goal, the less chance of conceding a goal. But without Paqueta, we struggle to do all these things. I would imagine if you were to go further into it, such as shots faced and territory and possession, I'd imagine all our statistics drop significantly without Lucas Paqueta in the team. So there you go. There's the statistics that Paqueta's promoting himself on social media. And this means that we need to plan for life without him, because I don't want him to go anywhere. I don't. Obvious disclaimer, I hope he's here next season, right? I don't think he wants to leave West Ham. Leaving West... Okay, would Paqueta join Brighton? If the answer is no, then that would suggest he's not desperate to leave West Ham, because if he was, he'd go to Brighton, who are the same level as us in the Premier League. They're just above us in the Premier League. They are our rivals in the league position right now, and they play really nice football, right? So Paqueta wants to leave because he's unhappy with the football. He would go to Brighton. I know you would say wages, fee, forget that. Hypothetically, would he join Brighton? I wouldn't think so. So when I say he wants out, it's he wants to go win trophies. He wants to go to Man City, which I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. I don't blame any player. If Emerson wanted to go to Man City, I don't blame him. Pick whoever you think is the happiest player at West Ham right now. Who's the happiest player under David Moyes at West Ham? Bowen, Souček, Emerson? It's probably one of those 3, isn't it? Zuma, or probably Kurt Zuma at the minute. He's probably quite relieved that he's at West Ham. But pick whoever you think it is. Would they go to Man City? Of course they would. Anyone would go to City. But what we have to do is start preparing for the worst case scenario, which is obviously putting charges to one side a moment. Man City's 115 and Paqueta's 1. Put them to one side a minute. We have to assume that Man City are going to come knocking for Paqueta in the summer for 85 million. We've got to start preparing for life without him. What we cannot do is have another Declan Rice situation. Now, we spent that Rice money well, but I don't think we planned for it well. I do not, because when we played our first game of the season against Bournemouth, we had no new signings. So to then start bringing in players, and like I said, I'm happy with the business we did, but I don't think we were prepared for it. I don't think we planned well. We cannot have that excuse with Paqueta. Listen, at the end of the day, Paqueta's still here, brilliant. That book you've got on replacing Paqueta, that online file you've got on Paqueta, well, don't delete it, keep it, but just you don't have to open it over the summer. Happy days, you can just pretend it doesn't exist. It's better to have a few players lined up to replace Paqueta and not need to go buy them than it is to sell Paqueta and then suddenly you're stuck and it's a case of, oh, who are we going to go get? Is Andros Townsend still at Luton? Can we get him? Is his contract up? Ross Barkley is out of contract. Can we get Ross? I'm saying that, I would love Ross Barkley, but not to replace Lucas Paqueta. You get my point. Anyway, there you go. I chat about Lucas Paqueta and just something that irritated me last night quite a lot, actually. Facts, opinion, there's a big difference. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video somehow, please do drop a like on it by clicking the thumbs up. That's your opinion, but your opinion is you enjoyed the video. The fact is you can drop a like on it by clicking the thumbs up. That helps the channel out. Also a fact. Subscribe if you're around here and you enjoyed the video. Let's get over 37,000. And if you would like more content from myself and Gonzo, there's a free video on Patreon. Links in description and the pinned comments where we get asked from patrons From Adam in New Hampshire Hammer. What would you do if you were managers of West Ham? And what would you do if you were the chairman of West Ham? It's 20 minutes of silliness and fun. But I guess fun. Subjective. Depends on your opinion. I'll catch you in a bit.